Hello everybody, Political Vigilante here. I'm in El Salvador and interviewing more people about what is happening here with Bitcoin and the economy and how it's changing things. And I'm here with Gladys, who, tell everybody who you are, the name of your real estate business, and then what the Bitcoin landing spot is, where we're at.
Okay, so I'm Gladys Jeanette, and the business is Excellence Real Estate, and we have our Bitcoin landing spot. So we cater to a lot of Bitcoiners that are moving into the country. We are the first company that offers real estate financing to foreigners, and we are also in search of a lot of values and bank-owned homes for people that are wanting to move in and not necessarily pay the high price of moving in.
And so we were talking beforehand, you're one of the only companies that are doing sort of Bitcoin transactions with real estate?
Yes. So we partnered up with a bank that you can buy a property full Bitcoin, right? And you can do Bitcoin from buyer to seller. But now we are actually going to be taking all the other coins to get rid of the coins, keep your Bitcoin, and trash the other ones towards a property, and you can make payments via Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So people can like put down payments in cash and pay in Bitcoin, and now you're going to allow people to do down payments in altcoins?
Yes. And
payments in Bitcoin?
Yes.
Wow. That's so, I mean, that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
I know a realtor in LA, Piper Moretti, who's one of the first LA realtors, or maybe US realtors, to do Bitcoin transactions, and how that's starting to take a little hold, it seems like, in the US.
Yes.
But tell us, like, one of the things you're really working on is because Bukele arrested all of the gangsters and made this country way safer than it was.
Yes.
And you're trying to attract El Salvadorians that have left the country because it was so dangerous to come back.
Yes. Originally, it was because I came in as a foreigner, Guatemalan, and
but you're half El Salvadorian?
I'm half Salvadorian, yes. Half Salvadorian, half Guatemalan, but I was born in Guatemala. So I came in, and within 3 days, I already had put a property under contract, and on the way to the airport, it was accepted. So I had to come back. So it was not like, oh, well, let's see, whatever, we'll figure it out. No, I had to come back. And then I stayed, and I said, okay, so how do I even do it when there's people that it's a lot of money? Because my property was only $14,000 in El Zonte. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was very, very cheap. It was 12, and then with all the everything else, it turned out to be like 14 altogether. But what I was like, okay, so how do we work this? How do we make it to where it's feasible for other people that want to get out of the U.S., out of Canada, and then live here? So the whole journey and work of getting financing started, right? So all this is going on, and it's fine. But then I'm sitting in the office, and I'm like, well, what about a lot of people that are saying, I can't even afford a $400,000 home in El Salvador? Like, how do I afford a $200,000 home when I still have my own property in El Salvador? I don't even make that much money because you're an immigrant, or your 9-to-5 job, and a lot of times they don't pay a lot. So now we're going to start working with the consulates in California, in LA, and in Highland. Highland consulate just opened, so we are going to be teaching people how to use Bitcoin #1. So we're starting with the employees of the consulate, and then we're going to do the community. So Excellence Real Estate will expand with the community through the consulate for Bitcoin.
That's the thing that's so exciting to me, is because I'm when I came down here, and I've only been down here about 5 days now, was like,
you love it?
I'm falling in love with it. It's amazing. Like, and the people, because I was curious, like, is it going to be like just rich Bitcoiners from other countries just coming to buy everything up? But I'm seeing that the people that are coming here really want to educate El Salvadorians on how to use Bitcoin.
Yes.
Because Bukele made it a law, 2 years ago, but it's going to take time.
Right.
And, I've been to Bitcoin Beach, where most of the local merchants take it. I'm staying in El Tunco, where maybe 50-60% of them take it. And I'm seeing that throughout San Salvador. But I'm realizing that such a important piece is to educate people on what it is, how it can be used, and how is that process going?
It's actually going really good, because if you really think about it, 56% or even 40% compared to other countries that don't even use it, is a whole lot. You know, it's a whole lot, number one. But when I'm here, I buy Bitcoin everything. The only times is when I have to go and get some cash out through one of the Chivo wallet the ATMs, and they'll pull money out. But a lot of the companies, PriceSmart takes Bitcoin, gas stations take Bitcoin, Freon, that is a hardware store, takes Bitcoin. A lot of people take Bitcoin, more than we would think. And I know that a lot of people come to El Salvador and automatically want to just pay everybody Bitcoin, but it's not. That's why we have adopting Bitcoin. So we focus on teaching a lot of people how to work it. There's classes people can take to learn how to do it. I try and orange pill as many people as possible, because what I was mentioning, that if somebody doesn't understand something, they will always say no. So just the basics, and they don't have to learn how to run nodes or any of that. The thing is, you just have to learn, they just need to know chapter 1. Because if I read a book, and then it's like, I read it and I try to teach you on chapter 11, and you have never wrote a book, then how do you even process that? So we have to teach everybody from chapter 1. So that's what we do here. And that's what I do with everybody that wants to learn about Bitcoin or is very hesitant. I'm like, hold on, okay, well, what is it that you don't understand? And it comes out, it was something very simple. Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, I rented a surfboard from a surf shop in El Zonte, and they took Bitcoin. And then there was a surf shop in El Tunco where the guy's like, I don't understand it.
Right.
So I was talking to Sandy Waves, my tour guide on this trip, to say, and she knows the guy. She's like,
Sandy is amazing.
She's
I love you, Sandy.
Sandy is the Pied Piper. She's really helping El Salvadorians understand it and get it. Because look, I live in America, and a lot of Americans don't get it. Most stores, it's hard.
Yeah, there are communities. Like, for example, in Orange County, there's a couple communities. We even ran a community of Bitcoiners in the Inland Empire. But it's still like, you have to really want to learn, because if you just like, okay, I just have a wallet, and then you just forget about it, that's where it stays, right? But the whole point is that you have to continue with the community, because if someone gets stuck somewhere, that other person that just walked in might have been in the same spot. So the whole community teaches each other, and that's the whole point, community. That's that's the biggest thing I'm seeing here, is a community of Bitcoiners and El Salvadorian Bitcoiners. Like, everyone's trying to build community. Correct.
It's really impressive. So talk to us about what this space is, the Bitcoin landing spot. What is this used for? People who are visiting this country for the very first time, how can they use this facility? Okay,
so the Bitcoin landing spot, we have a lot of rooms here. We have a pool and everything, just a house, right? A house is basically somewhere where a person can come in, a Bitcoiner, like, all right, I'm here, now what? It's like, now what? Who do I talk to? Where should I go? Because a lot of the phone calls that I take is like, where do I even go? Where are the Bitcoiners at, right? So it's like, this is one of the areas in the city that is very heavily with Bitcoiners, because they have transactions going on, trying to move in, like the visas and stuff like that. So they have a transaction, immigration is right across the street. We try to pick a location where nobody really needed a car. The superstore, the Super Selectos is across the street. There's pharmacies, there's a hospital, there's restaurants everywhere here. You don't need a car when you're here, unless you really want to go somewhere, like maybe go to the beach, and that can also be like 30 minutes maybe. But we also do events. We teach Bitcoin events. We just did a Nostr event here to people that want to learn on Nostr. We are going to be having a women's event also for people that want to learn, specifically for women. Again, for people that don't understand Bitcoin, they come in, and like we were talking, that I wanted to do something where a cleaning lady says, you know what, I want to start a business. What do I even do? Like, how do I even, I don't know. I just don't know. And all it is finding mentorship from somebody else, and it goes back to community, right? So a perfect example is, like, a cleaning lady could come in and say, you know what, I need to learn how to do this, and she can walk out with a business plan, right? And now, instead of a cleaning lady, she has a cleaning agency, right? So we want to do that.
That accepts Bitcoin.
Yes, exactly. So we want to do that around adopting Bitcoin.
Which I want to interject I want to just map this out for the audience. This is how the community's built. So you have this woman's event. This woman comes in, I'm a cleaning lady, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
She leaves going, oh, now I'm going to start a cleaning agency that accepts Bitcoin. So now the Bitcoin community here, people who have purchased homes through you using Bitcoin, who are Bitcoiners, are going to go, I want the Bitcoin cleaning lady coming to my house.
Yes.
This is what is called the circular economy.
Right.
This is what, I've been reading about the Bitcoin Beach white paper showed me how they did the circular economy, the circular economy in El Zonte, which is Bitcoin Beach. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and some people would only work with Bitcoiners.
Yep.
And there's some Bitcoiners that will not use absolutely any cash or any credit cards. They will only use Bitcoin. And they that's what they live off of, period.
Yeah.
So if you are a Bitcoiner, any kind of Bitcoiner, all the community will support you when you're starting off, especially when you're starting off. And then they will also pay a premium to be able to help you.
Yeah, yeah, because they just want to advocate for getting everybody to use Bitcoin. And the thing I'm noticing here too, that a lot of the Bitcoiners, it's not about just getting as much Bitcoin as I can and holding on to it. It's like, no, I have to give some back to the community. I have to give so other people can share in this and grow from this.
Yeah, you have to give. You have to give, and it needs to rotate. It's like a living thing. Bitcoin is a living thing, and the more you use it, the more you give. Because I have orange-pilled people, and I gave them money just so they can know, and they keep it. And they're like, "Do I get to keep it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I get to keep it." Then I get to show somebody else, and they're like, "Oh my God!" So it's just like it's a community, and then the whole point is to teach them exactly how it is and not have any doubts, even if it's something very small, a small wallet of Satoshi.
Yeah.
How do you just work for $100? How do you go to the grocery store? I paid a person that was going to come and cook, and she was really new to Bitcoin, and we had an event, a real estate event for buyers, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go pick up the money. Can somebody?" I'm like, "You know what? You still have your wallet, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send you money right now. And you're gonna go to the Super Selectors across the street." And she's like, "Well, wait, no, I need the money." And I'm like,
"You're
okay.
gonna have it."
Yes. I said, "Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you." And then like within seconds, she had it. And she's like, "Oh my," she goes, "Can I use it at Super?" Yes. There is a cashier that'll take it. Just go there. She just couldn't believe how it even happened. So it was amazing. I mean, just looking at people's faces, how it changes when they actually do a transaction. It's like the best feeling, because that means you're changing their life on how they view things.
So I've owned, Bitcoin for a little over 3 years now, but this is the first time that I've just gone beep with my phone at a surf shop. I mean, this is this like little surf shack on the beach. There's a guy without a shirt on, just like, hey, pick out a board, and then boom, I bought a thing of water that was $1.25, and I paid for it with Bitcoin. I was like,
no banks, you have to be carrying checks. Checks is just obsolete, but like you don't have to go through with a credit card situation. If they don't have like a system for that, that's been a big thing, that they don't have the machine for a credit card. So it's like, you don't need it.
Don't need it.
It's your phone.
And I had something to eat at a restaurant that did not accept Bitcoin, so I had to, and I didn't have enough cash, so I had to use a credit card, and they stuck me for 5%.
Yeah.
I had to pay an extra, it was $12, so I had to pay an extra 60 cents. I was like, man, this stuff.
Yeah, and it adds up, but then also it's a credit card, they get like, people steal credit card information too. So that's just another thing to worry over. But I really like to teach people because it's just their whole expression. Yeah. And you're like, man, they're going places now.
Yeah, well, you see the face change.
Yeah.
And they go, and you go, you're in now.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, Gladys, I really appreciate you taking the time. How can people, if they're interested to get more information, you have a website, social media, how can
So my social media, I live in Twitter, so tweet with Gladys at Twitter, the handle, and then our website is El Salvador 411.
El Salvador 411.
Mm-hmm.
ElSalvador411.com. And I will post a clip from this online, so I'll put her link in the notes, and then I will also tweet out a clip from this. So follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at Graham Elwood, and I will make sure she's tagged in it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. And we're going to be back when we shoot our documentary. We're probably going to, our crew, we were talking before, I was like, I'm gonna probably have 3 or 4 guys, the camera crew. We're gonna need to stay here for. She's like, "What? We got all these rooms."
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh yeah, you gotta better to tell me now.
yeah,
you gotta tell me now.
I gotta lock down the dates.
Yeah.
We gotta lock down the dates.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have fun, everybody. Go orange pill, people.
Go orange pill people. If you don't understand Bitcoin, it's totally cool. I didn't. You didn't.
I didn't.
We didn't know it, and we started to learn it. And when you start to understand what it is and what it can do and how it can build communities and pull people out of poverty, it's actually a very powerful tool. So we don't have to be servants to the central banks. So keep following the show, keep being open, keep learning, keep asking questions. And as I say in the show, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth,
Correct.
and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom!
Bye.